All right, guys. Welcome to Live Saga TV. I'm going to do this video without receipts because I just believe that I've really researched enough and I don't have to show the receipts. So guys, how about you in Uganda, Tanzania, and Kenya? So let's start from Tanzania. Tanzania has actually had the toughest moment for the last 3 weeks, if I may say. Since the campaign time to the election time and post-election. And of course, up to now, we are being told almost 240 plus people have been actually taken to court and charged for treason. Among them are influencers on TikTok and some people actually do a lot of stuff online. Now, based on sources, Tanzania had warned people not to share content online, and there was a strict instruction that anything to do with what is happening in Tanzania should not be shared. So currently, people who shared videos maybe, and they are still in Tanzania, have been hunted down. Apart from that, the most satirical situation is where one TikToker has been taken in for treason because she danced the song Nywe 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 in Tanzania. All right. So even though the parents have come out to plead with the government to let her free, it's unfortunate that Samia has not listened to the mother who was in tears and saying that the daughter loves Samia. The daughter has always supported, and even last year she held a campaign, a challenge to support her. So, unfortunately, a country where democracy is not supported, anything small you do is considered crime. And these are some of the things that we are really wishing that they should not happen in Africa. Because once democracy is suffocated, there is nothing good in a country where democracy is suffocated. Now, unfortunately, AU and EU, among other groups such as Amnesty and Human Rights, have just come up late to condemn the situations in Tanzania. I even saw one of the groups that fights for the human rights has spoken against atrocities, the death, and the disappearances of people in Tanzania, when earlier on they had not talked about this. So it's unfortunate they came to address the matters when it's too late, because according to data, in fact, numbers are inflating. By yesterday, they were talking about over 1,000 people having died in Tanzania. And by today, they say now it's 3,000 people. We cannot qualify this truth or whether they are just allegations, because so far we've seen some pictures, and today I'm not going to show that. I've been showing on my videos all through. You can go check on the previous videos, but they have been indicating that we've had a lot of bodies dumped in mass graves and even rivers. And of course, what is said, huwa wanasema lisemalo lipo kama halipo linjiani laja. That is what the Swahili people say. Whatever is said is there, and if it is not there, it is on its way forth. And the reality is that when you look at Tanzania, some videos were just traumatizing. I didn't want even to show some of them, because some of the videos were showing faces of bodies dumped on the road. Like there was a video showing 3 boys or young people just having been shot on the road. They were those which shown people in the house having been shot. And now when looking at the video today of that TikToker who was dancing in her Aliarem 5260, welcome my brother. Thank you so much, and I appreciate your presence on Live Saga TV. Today we are doing videos without pictures or video, a live stream without videos or pictures. It's just solid so that I can focus on whatever I'm doing and also reflect, because I've already done another video on a different channel, which is edutainment for us, and within that one I was showing the videos. So this is Rim. Oh, so she's a girl. Oh, thank you so much, my sister. A girl known as Rim, a very good name. Thank you so much. I welcome you to my platform, and I appreciate you for being top fan here. Thank you so much. May God bless you. So looking at the dramas that went on in Tanzania, it was not a good case for Africa, if I may say. No one really wants a country where peace is fails to reign, and military all over the place. The police are beating people on the roads. You saw the yesterday's video. You saw. She says thank you, and the same to you. Straw Woo says easy. EZ. Did I type EZ? It's supposed to be Tanzania, Uganda, and Kenya. That's my focus point. And because I've already shown videos elsewhere, I'm not going to replicate the same here. I'm plainly going to talk about matters that are around the place. So Reem says, I saw the video. Yeah, it's real. So it is so tragic. I never expected that such a thing would happen in East Africa. And to make matters worse, Tanzania. You know, we have been shocked at the atrocities that happen in Tanzania, because we have always known that Tanzania is a place where people love peace, you know, like they can settle matters in a peaceful way, and they can handle them without necessarily shedding blood. So I was so surprised since 4 days ago to see what I saw in Tanzania. And also the fact that Suluhu was pretending that the invasions are what caused the problem in Tanzania, it's a lie. Because today we saw the Professor Ann came up to say that families of those who lost the closest. Do you know what is happening in Sudan? Sudan, what I know is that there was a recent civil issue, but I'm supposed to check on it. But thank you for informing me. I'll be checking in details and researching on it to understand, because I saw something about Sudan and I didn't focus so much on it. But I've been researching on Sudan, and I need to go to it. Possibly I'll be checking in details and then come up with something. But it's so unfortunate. Africa, a motherland, is bleeding. We've had bleeding from Cameroon to Cote d'Ivoire to Tanzania, and Uganda has actually started another moment of suffering, and now Sudan also. It's unfortunate actually for Africa, because we have always wished for the best. We have thought that we are progressing, but I think to some level we are retrogressing, because even Tanzania, actually, I thought it was coming out of dictatorial kind of leadership after Magufuli's presence and all that. But I don't know what is happening. NHQS says, hi, I'm from Australia. Can you give me a brief explanation of what's going on in Tanzania? Rim says, I'm sad for them. Of course, what is happening in Sudan is also very saddening. NHQS, I'll repeat for your sake, though I had already covered something about Tanzania, and I've already done so many videos on my channel. If you go check on my channel, both this one and Edutainment for Us, you will find a lot. So currently, of course, things are cooling down, but we have also demonstrations that are looming, because the agencies have promised not to calm down. The reason why they are doing that, they still feel like repression, oligarchy, and the death of the many who happened to actually pass on during the demonstrations, including some footballers, has not been addressed. So far, the government is saying they are ready for the dialogue, but who do they want to dialogue with? Because so far, Chadema party has had problems. Heche was recently led to actually a treason. He was put on treason charges, and we've had almost 240 more people put on treason charges, and they are being claimed they caused the death, and they also triggered demonstrations on the streets, and also communicated in a manner that triggered the negative light of Tanzania. So Alirim says your support is low. Are you new? What is this support? You're talking about subscribers or what exactly? I don't know what Rim is saying. But of course, my channel did not start very long ago, but it has run for 1 year. However, the subscribers come slowly by slowly. Yeah, so I think they are bogus. Why? Because some of the people who are being vindicated, those who are being blamed for treason, some of them were simply like one TikToker, the influencer who is currently taken to treason. She just danced to a song. Remember, TikTok allows people to do challenges, and some people just innocently do the challenges, and it has been a common trend that people have been doing challenges even in all over the world. Now, one of them did a challenge, and they were indicated to have actually supported terrorism. So I don't know how you can connect the two. I am having a problem with connecting the two. Yeah. Mm, Alirim says, do you support Palestine? Why? In what? Because I have to know what exactly am I supporting them in. Because depending on what they do, I don't support what we call a massive attacks, violence. I don't support that. I don't support extremism, and I don't support aspects that actually affect human peace generally. But sometimes when people picket and they are considered to be, violent, when they are not at first, and maybe the police start attacking them until now it becomes repression, then that is what I have to blame for. Now look at Snow White says, you so pretty. Thank you so much. Nihech says, do you think treason charges are bogus? I think I've answered that. Alirim says broadcast. And then who else has asked a question? I've not seen. Do you think there is a popular support within Tanzania for Gen Z protests? When I look at what happened even in Kenya and what is currently happening in Tanzania, I don't think there is a popular support because after all, when you look at Chadema party, it was weakened at some point, and from April, Tundu Lissu was arrested, and they have been monitored. Tanzania generally is a country whereby there is a lot of maintenance, or rather close tie of the media and what have you. So I don't really believe that there was sponsorship. You remember even in Kenya when protests happened and the Gen Z went to the streets, those allegations about support, or rather financing, were there. But it's not true that they were financed, These are people who simply communicated online, just like it happened in Libya. If you remember the case of Libya, you can understand what is happening. And recently you saw what happened in Cameroon, though still Paul Biya took over. You saw what happened in Cote d'Ivoire, and still Ouattara took over. So I don't believe that whether it is the Gen Zs of Tanzania, Kenya, or whichever other country, they are sponsored to do what they have to do. Because some of them are willing to even sacrifice their life. It's just because their kind of generation tells them to be vocal and sometimes to use media as much as they do. So anyway, let's proceed. I think from Tanzania, things are not so good, but we just hope that they'll cool down and settle and focus on their growth. But as well, they have to work on their constitution because the constitution matters. Once the constitution is protected, everything is cool for a nation. Anyway, let's now proceed to Uganda. When I look at Uganda, there has been drama today in Uganda, of course, since live, we can say 40 years ago, because when we look at Museveni as the president of Uganda has led for 40 years. Since he took over leadership, he has been in power for 40 years. And we may not say that he's the worst leader. However, when we look at his kind of leadership, it's dictatorial. And to some point, when I travel in Uganda, what I see is that people kind of face some sort of dictatorial environment which suppresses them. They can't talk freely. and you go down to the villages, you realize that education has not reached the grassroots. We have also some sort of lack of development, even though Uganda, if given room, it is one of the countries that can really grow so fast. However, because of that suppression, people are somehow behind in terms of progress. There is no way you can fight to become a first world country when at the same time people cannot speak. People cannot have open minds, you know. And that is the drama that I've seen in Uganda. And of course, since the time of BCG and even to the time of Bob Wine currently, of course, you are aware that Kenyans, we had two Kenyans who invaded. They call it invasion, but I don't know how we can call it. They went to attend a campaign by Bobby Wine. And when they went to attend that campaign, they were abducted at a petrol station. They have been hidden for 38 days. And today, through the pressure of Amnesty and other bodies, human rights, and Kenyan ambassadorial connections, we've finally seen today, we had Bobby Njagi and we had Olo. They were released at the borders, and by Busia, before they were handed over to Kenya, they were tested, and they said that even though they were a bit weak and frail and seemed to be confused, but they are healthy. Of course, I saw the pictures, I saw the videos, and of course, 38 days when you don't know when you will be free. And I am so sure, I know when you compare the police in Uganda and Tanzania, the police in Uganda are quite atrocious, if I may say, because I've gone to both countries and I know what I'm talking about. So what happened is that Bobby Njagi and Nicholas were today handed over to their families, and they were so glad to receive them. But I know those people have to go through counseling and a process of healing before they settle back. But I don't know why it took so long. It seems that inter-border relations in East Africa are becoming a problem, because when you look at Tanzania, we've faced a problem. Now, Uganda, we are facing a problem. I don't even also understand from the AG in Tanzania. She correctly said that during registration process and election, Suluhu did not have a problem with foreigners walking in and voting. She didn't even care where they were coming from. But when it came to demonstrations, she had to blame the neighboring country for whatever reason. And up to now, it is indicated that around 100 Kenyans are facing possible danger in Kampala. Especially, we have a group of teachers who had gone to study masters there. I know some friends who had gone to Aga Khan University to study for masters in different fields, including education and administration. So it has been indicated some of them are in danger. I don't know. I hope they'll be secure, because we saw the Kenyan, the people in charge of foreign affairs, that is Musalia Mudavadi and the rest of them communicating, and we hope they'll be safe. Now, when we come to Uganda, you've seen on the roads as Bobby Wine is gaining popularity in Uganda, and this seems to be pissing off the leading party and Museveni, because Museveni has declared that he's going to run for the next presidential seat. Of course, all of us know that Museveni declared that the moment he will walk out of that office, it's when someone goes to the bush and removes him from office. So he's not ready to walk out of office just like that or give it over. I thought maybe if he was wise enough to have honor or maintain honor, he would have handed over his party maybe to the son and proposed him, then he lets him vie, then just walk out. But I don't know. It seems he's not ready for that. Of course, we remember 4 years back, he was trying to show us his judo skills and also proving that he's healthy by doing press-ups before the media. So I saw a lot of press during this rally when Bobby Wine was yesterday and today was going to different places to conduct his campaigns. And Bobby Wine was actually received by a lot of people, especially at Mbarira. And when at Marina High School, people watched him, listened to him, they delivered all the messages. Then when the team was leaving, they were heading to a different destination. They were waylaid They were waylaid by the army, or rather the police of Uganda. And according to Bobby Wine was saying on camera that one of the police officers had actually come with goons and directed them to throw stones at them. And so we saw at some point they were attacked, and people had to disperse, and then they kept arresting. They kept arresting various people and forced them to sit down. And once they sat down, they were carried to the police, the closest police station. And they have been closed there. According to Bobby Wine, some of them were being beaten and harassed. This is so dramatic, and not in a good way. But it's a kind of way to intimidate the public so that they don't go with the opposition anymore. And at that point, so we saw Bobby Wine talking to the media and also addressing the police, telling them, then they seeing what is happening in Uganda. A leader who has led for 40 years, and yet there are so many things that are not happening. A leader who has suppressed them. A leader who has made sure that people don't progress equally. Equity is not expected. Now, of course, we know that it seems that either external bodies are not interested in welfares of Africa, or they want to see us down before they can come and talk. Because my question is, why is it that international bodies or even AU, they can't intervene in such matters? They wait until there is tragedy, and that is when they can talk. But at a moment like this, we don't see them talking at all. They are quiet, totally quiet, like everything is cool. But when it comes to a moment of tragedy, you will see them speaking. And it's unfortunate because I would expect that someone talks about me or tries to intervene in my life when I'm still alive. But when they come, when things are so low, what are they trying to help me? They are not helping me in any way. All right? And so we saw that, and of course today, Bobby Wine was also going to a different destination, and we saw a lot of army on the way. Rapira or somewhere like that. And at the same time, he had to go to the police station to rescue those who were arrested that time. He reported that his sister was actually also abducted, or rather taken in, and they were beaten up. Yeah. So when you look at this situation, what does it tell us about Africa or East Africa? If we look at that, because it's not even East Africa alone. Okay. Now let's get to talk about Kenya. Of course, I've watched a lot about Kenya and also gone to different places. Now, what we are seeing in Kenya is like some of the leaders are trying to hoard. They are trying to kind of conduct what we call hoardship. They are proving that they are creating a platform where they can stand and reclaim, or rather revenge, or rather get a way to pay back to those who punished them. And when I look at Rigathi Gachagua, even though he says he speaks the truth and all the time, what exactly is his point? He seems to just show the bitterness having been thrown out of government. Yeah. And what he says, some points that he says are very relevant. Of course, the fact that someone cannot be abducting, killing, and doing a lot of stuff without actually helping. NHQS asks, are you a journalist or academic? You have a lot of knowledge about this. I can say maybe both, because currently, of course, I do academic, but when it comes to also grabbing news, I'm on the front line. I really walk around and get to understand a lot of things, and I also connect with a lot of people from different places. Of course, they inform me. I also get to research, and this is what makes me be informed about different places. So that if I begin talking about US, even currently, do you know what is happening in US? With Trump trying to use force on protesters. And we saw today this being put to a stop. I'll be addressing that elsewhere, but let me focus on Kenya. So knowledge about politics is interest. When you have interest in something and you get to actually follow up every day, you will be informed about all that is happening. So NH, that is what is happening. And as I was saying, currently I just look at Kenyan situation, and when I see what is happening, like we have this united opposition that is coming up, whereby we have people like Eugene Wamalwa, we have Kalonzo Musyoka, we have seen Gashagwa, we have seen Natembea, we've seen Paul JB, that is Muturi, we've seen Uhuru Kenyatta also is coming to embrace especially Matiang from Jubilee. And yesterday we had Uhuru Kenyatta saying that he doesn't want to see anyone abusing any party member, especially Gachagua or anyone else, because he, as a representative of Mount Kenya, wants to reclaim leadership. He says that if the current regime is going to win, the people of the mountain are going to lose it. I don't know whatever he meant. You know, in Kenya, tribalism, people talk about tribalism and try to say they are not tribal. But when they stand to speak, they forget that, you know. I was even looking at ODM saying that it is a universal party that has representation all over the country. But anytime they go to Homa Bay or Kisumu, you will have to hear them addressing people in Luo. Whether you get the language or not, that is your problem. That's what they think. So when I look at even Gladys Wanga, I look at Sifuna, I look at Junet, I look at, you know, Millie Jambo, and Oburu and the rest of them. What are they trying to do? You know, the entire thing that I'm trying to see them trying to do is to make sure that their parties are strong. And their parties are having that what we call what? The shares. The hey, darkness. The issue of shares is what they are fighting for. Yeah. So Kenya are very controversial. Very controversial. Even as people cheat that they are favoring or working towards the safety of the nation or the better situation of the citizens. It is high time that citizens should put this drama to an end by asking these people, what will they do? What will they do, for example, in education? What will they do in health? What will they do in specific ways? So that we don't have a blanket of ideologies, people just telling us they'll do something, they are going to change, they are going to better one term. The main mission is to end the current regime. And I am not really defending the current regime because it has messed us big time. As a civil servant, I've been forced to have so much deduction on my payslip. And actually, now currently, there is a race on loan. We used to have the minimum loan at 8 years. Now, banks and other institutions, even circles, have realized that someone cannot manage a loan. Maybe some loans that are 8 years are going to be very minimum because of the pay slip. So they have increased even loans to 10 years. Why? Because they know. You know, when you see loans being given for 10 years, realize that the economy is coming down, drifting down. You know, and it's unfortunate because now the next government should be put to the task. People should put it to the task. Before we elect the next government, we should raise a lot of questions to them when they come to our destinations. And that is why sometimes I also hold these platforms so that I get ready with questions. In case they call me as part of people who have to ask questions, I'll ask a lot of questions to these people because I already am informed and I know what I want. I know what they are telling us and hiding what they should tell us. Yeah. And this is what I would wish that our citizens should actually do. Be informed and do what is right. And ask what they should ask. Not just being told simply that we have to change leadership without being told, as we change, what is it that we are going to gain? As we change, what is it that those people are going to do for us? As we change, what do we expect from them? So those are the questions that we should be asking. So I've seen a lot of DCP members like Malala, who is very vocal, speaking all the time. I've seen also Keino from the central part and many others. And all that I can see, yeah, whenever they speak, I don't understand what are they trying to address, because you cannot just address us by saying we don't want one. We want one term. Yes, we want one term. And what are the things that we need after one term. So the leaders should now stop just talking about one term. The campaign of one term, we are tired with it, and we want them to come up and tell us what exactly they are going to do for us. So power has gone. I'm a little bit in darkness, though it's still daytime, but inside the house it looks a bit dark. So I'll have to actually get out and see what I can address. But again, the phone, I'm kind of wary about the power, because I had another video coming by some other time. So let me just walk out and see what will happen. Yeah. The darkness there is just too much. And even outside is a bit misty. Oh my God. So yeah, thank you so much, NHQS, for listening and watching my platform. I hope that I'll be more informative as time goes by. And also I'll check on the Sudanese situation, just as someone has requested, so that we keep informing ourselves about what is happening, and also asking a lot of questions to our politicians, because sometimes they tend to play with our minds. And since some people don't want to get to understand politics, it becomes an advantage to them and a disadvantage to us. So I'll end here at 31 minutes, and then hope that tomorrow I can do better when there is maybe power and all that. Bye bye.